Capricorn, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your long-term transit explanation sort of thing for... Have I hit play?
Yeah.
Capricorn, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is a video about the long-term energies in your chart, where Saturn is, Uranus, Neptune, and what does that all mean for you. And before we begin, I want to let you know that I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly sun rising sign video horoscopes that you can watch on my website or on my channel. Now, Capricorn, the reason I did this video is because yes, energies change day to day, month to month, and monthly readings and horoscopes are great. They can tell you things about that month, but there are certain underlying energies that we deal with on a long-term basis for years on end. And this reading is about those energies. So let's talk about those one by one, and we'll break it down from there. So the first energy that I like to talk about is Saturn, because Saturn is the energy that we feel most intensely in our chart. It is the ruler of this reality, and Saturn, wherever that is, it really makes things real in that part of our life. Now, Saturn demands hard work, it demands decisions, it demands discipline, and it also can feel challenging. It can bring with it disappointments and delays. So that's Saturn, and Saturn is a 28-year cycle, right? 28 to 30. So it comes into a particular house after about 28, 30 years. And when it does, it puts things in order connected to that house, right? And for you, Capricorn, Saturn right now is in your second house. It has been here since 2020 December and will be till 2023 March. And it's a 2.5, 3-year cycle in each sign, which means in each house. And what does that mean? Saturn is asking you to work towards second house matters. It's putting matters associated with your second house in order, and this process might not feel easy. It will require work, and the rewards that are associated with the work come later with Saturn. But the key with Saturn is to do the work. Now for you, Capricorn, this is happening in your second house of self-worth, values, skills, and most importantly, your finances. So from 2020 to 2023, this will be the focus, Capricorn. Now let's talk about something else as well. Let's talk about where Capricorn has been, because that's more important. Because Capricorn, Saturn has been in your sign, Capricorn. From 2017 December to 2020 December. 3 years it was in your sign. And if you have a lot of planets in Capricorn, if you have your Mercury there, Venus there, then you must have felt this transit very, very intensely. And in your first house, Capricorn, Saturn asked you to work towards your identity, who you are, how you present yourself to the world, and perhaps even your appearances. And Saturn does not feel easy. And if you're a Capricorn sun, then even then it requires work and it does not feel easy. But the good news is that Saturn has left your sign, Capricorn, and now it's in the sign of Aquarius, your second house, and you know what it's asking you to work towards till 2023. Now Saturn here did a few things when it was in your sign in Capricorn. In Jan of 2020, it met up with Pluto at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And now if you have any planets there at 22 degrees of Capricorn, you must have felt this very, very intensely. The Saturn-Pluto cycle is a 38-year cycle, 33 to 38 years. And in Jan of 2020, they met up after 38 years. And when they meet up in Capricorn, they transform our material reality in a very powerful way. And Capricorn, you must have felt this very intensely because it happened in your sign. And if you're a Capricorn rising, it happened in your first house, which means it changed you. It changed your very identity. It began that cycle. Okay, it may not be very visible, but this cycle will stay with us till 2053. And that's the area that Saturn-Pluto changed in your chart, Capricorn. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is associated with Saturn. Again, Saturn and Jupiter met up in December of 2020 after 20 years. And these planets also meet up rarely, right, after 20 years. And when they meet up, they begin a cycle and end an old one. And they met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This technically makes it your second house. But check your chart. It could be your third, it could be your second, it could be your first, depending on which house, right? But for this video, I'm going to take that to be your second house. And what they did in December of 2020 was began a new 20-year cycle connected to your self-worth, values, skills, and finances. And you will set the base for this new cycle in the next 2 years, Capricorn. Okay. Now, moving on. Now, this is associated with Saturn again. So let me clean the chart and then show you. Saturn here has been in a square with Uranus, 90-degree angle. This energy is extremely potent. It's happening after 21 years and it's going to continue into 2022. Right now, I'm filming this in July 2021. And Saturn-Uranus square asks us to embrace the new. Get rid of the old that does not serve us anymore. And it also asks us to be our unique, authentic self. And since these planets are in a square, this energy will not feel easy. The process of becoming your unique self. And for you, Capricorn, this energy is highlighting your second and fifth house, which means it is in some way, shape, or form highlighting your second house, self-worth, values, skills, finances on one hand, and love, romance, creativity, children, hobbies, pleasure, fun on the other hand. These two areas will be highlighted with this energy, meaning the tug of war will somehow, between the old and the new, will somehow highlight these areas of your life. And that's all of 2021 and even into 2022. Now that's Saturn that we've completed talking about. Let's talk about Pluto now. Pluto is an extremely slow energy. It takes about 248 years to make one round, one circle, right? So it comes into a house maybe once in many lifetimes, you can say. And Pluto wants us to transform. It is a purifier. It gets rid of the old and it starts something new. And it brings things to the surface also. It digs deep into you and brings things out. And what Pluto wants is total transformation. And it has been in your sign, Capricorn, since 2008. It will be here for another 2-3 years. And in your sign, you must have felt this intensity of Pluto, the transformation that it brings in very subtle but difficult ways. And in your first house, if you're a Capricorn rising, this has happened in connection with your identity, with who you are. And if you have planets there, then you would have definitely felt this more intensely. So that's Pluto. And right now, it's still in your first house, still asking you to transform, work on your identity. Now let's talk about, we've done Saturn, we've done Pluto. Let's talk about Neptune. Now, Neptune is an energy that can manifest in two ways. It is the most spiritual, magical thing in the world that connects us with the higher realms. Or it is an inability to see things clearly, confusion, delusions, addictions, drugs, depression, all that stuff. So Neptune is very distinct in how it manifests, right? Two very different ways. And for you, Capricorn, Neptune has been in your third house since 2011. Okay, 2011. It's a very slow moving planet. It's going to be here for another few years. And for you, it's in your third house, which means third house is what? Communication. It's thinking. It's your mind. It's your thought processes. It's your immediate environment. It's writing. It's social media. It's computer programming. It's editing. It's a lot of these things. So either there's been a magical experience, spiritual experience connected to your third house. Maybe through writing you've connected to the spiritual world. That's one manifestation. Maybe your immediate environment is magical and spiritual and all those sort of things, right? Or maybe you're confused about something, confused about your thoughts. Maybe you're actually confused because the third house is the mind, right? Maybe you're not able to see things clearly. So maybe there's some confusion regarding your siblings. Maybe you're not able to see them clearly because Neptune is also deception. So it could manifest in any one of these ways. And it's going to be here for a few more years. So that's the energy you've been dealing with. And in the third, Neptune is also the higher octave of Venus. So it's very creative. So another magical manifestation of Neptune could be a lot of creative writing, right? Creative thinking, creative social media stuff. I don't know, but I'm just giving you examples. These are all examples. So that's Neptune for you, Capricorn. Now, let's talk about Uranus. Uranus is in your fifth house, right here. And Uranus is an energy that wants us to be our authentic self, be our unique self. And for that purpose, it'll get rid of anything. Anything, no matter how dear it is to you, if that thing is not in alignment with your unique self, Uranus will say, no, it needs to go. Alternatively, it may bring things into your life so that you can be your unique self. And this process has been in your fifth house since I believe 2019, I think. 2018 and 2019. And it'll be here till 2026, 7 years. And Uranus has been connecting you with your authentic self by either bringing things into your life or getting rid of things connected to love, romance, hobbies, pleasure, fun, children, creativity. For example, if there is a romantic relationship that's not letting you be you, Uranus might get rid of it. If there is a creative activity that will push you more to being yourself, then Uranus will push you there. That's how it works. These are just examples. It could be anything connected to love, romance, children, creativity, hobbies, fun, pleasure. And now let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is a relatively shorter cycle compared to the other planets we've spoken about. It takes about 1 year in a particular sign. And Jupiter entered your third house on May 13th. And Jupiter brings with it healing, blessings, gifts, even lessons. And Jupiter takes about 12 years to take one circle of this. So it's entered your third house after 12 years. And now in the next year, it is going to bless, heal, give you gifts, bring you lessons connected to your thinking, your mind, communication, writing, editing, computer programming, siblings, immediate environment, prayer group, all these things. And it could be something as simple as that it heals your mind in some way, because third house is the house of the mind. Or it brings with you some blessing connected to maybe some writing that you can do. It could be anything, but that's what the energy is. And then from 2022 onwards, Jupiter is going to be in your fourth house, bringing you blessings, gifts, lessons connected to your deepest emotions. Your home, your family, your foundation. That's 2022 to 2023. So by now, Capricorn, I think we've spoken about Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus. Now let's talk about Chiron. Chiron is here. Chiron is our deepest wound. It's what hurts us the most. And it's also how we heal. And the healing that comes with Chiron is bittersweet, right? It heals us by digging that wound deeper and deeper and deeper till you reach a point where you say, it used to bother me, not anymore. I'm not numb, I'm not indifferent, I've just healed. I don't know how I have healed, but I've healed. And for you, Chiron has been in your fourth house, I think since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2019. And will stay there for a few more years. So it has been healing you in a bittersweet way, connected to your deepest emotions, connected to your home, your family, your foundation. And it's going to continue to do that for a few more years. Now, Capricorn, let's talk about the nodes. Nodes are karmic. The south node is in Sag right here, and the north node is in Gemini. And the south node usually cleans up karmic stuff. It's an 18.5 year cycle, right? So it cleans up karma or brings that back into your life, whatever it is. But the south node is a karmic sweeper. So it has been karmically closing out, cleaning up matters associated with your subconscious mind, your spirituality, the past itself. And if drugs, delusions, addictions, depression apply to you, then somehow those as well. And if you have planets in Sag, Capricorn, you'll feel this more intensely. And the sixth house is the house of health and job. And the north node is an activator, right? So it's been activating karmic things associated with your health, your job, your diet, exercise, all these things. And this is going to happen till 2022. And then the nodes are going to enter your 11th and 5th house. And the karmic cleanup will be associated with your social circle, the acquaintances that you keep, the groups that you belong to, your hopes, goals, and dreams. And the north node activation, the karmic activation, will be in your love, romance, children, creativity, hobbies, and fun. So now you know what the nodes will be doing in your chart till at least 2023. And we've discussed pretty much everything now. We've discussed Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus, and the nodes. I'm not going to talk about eclipses. I'm not going to talk about the personal planets in this reading because these are the long-term energies that I want to speak about. But Capricorn, I do want to mention something before closing this reading out. And yeah, that's that Saturn was in your sign from 2017 to 2020. And this Saturn transit wasn't like any other Saturn transit in Capricorn because Pluto was there. It felt more intense, and more so because the South Node was there. Right? So, South Node was there in Capricorn 2018, October, November, if I'm not mistaken, till May of 2020. 18 months. With the South Node, with Pluto, with Saturn, all in your sign, it must have been a very intense 3 years. But I want you to know that energy has passed. Saturn has moved on, the nodes have changed signs, the nodes are in Sag, the South Node is in Sag now. And Pluto will also leave your sign in a couple of years, 2-3 years. So, if the past 3 years were challenging up till December 2020, it's because of these reasons. And now the energy is easing out. Yeah. So, that's all the energy, long-term energies, put very briefly as an overview, Capricorn. And I also want to mention that check your rising sign degree, right? Now, this is for 0 degrees of Capricorn. If you are, say, a 28, 29 degree Capricorn, then you'll resonate more with an Aquarius chart reading, okay? Alternatively, I think it's best if you know where your rising sign starts and you know which planets, which houses the planets are in. That'll be the best thing for you to truly understand the underlying energies. And I also want to mention that this is just a basic overview. There are lots of elements to a personal chart that might change things up change things up. Where your planets are, the degrees, your progressions, all those sort of things. So this is just a basic overview for you, Capricorn. And go with your rising sign and then the sun sign. Rising sign, sun sign. Yeah, and if you're an end Capricorn, 25, 26, 27, anything end, I think the Aquarius will resonate more with you, perhaps. But just know where the rising sign starts for you, and that'll give you more clarity. So that's all I'll leave you with, Capricorn. I hope this video helped you in some way, and that's why I made it. So do hit the subscribe button, do hit the bell icon, and I will see you all in one of my other videos. Bye, Capricorn.